Ekonene. So kuna vile Kenya ilitolewa kwa CAF Chan. So of course saizi tuko back to default settings. So saizi tunaweza bonga maybe more geopolitics. And tukibonga geopolitics, kuna vile Duale, this was last weekend, the past weekend, kuna vile ilikuwa na bonga hizo sides za northeastern na alibaki try kuturudisha back to tribal politics, najua. And tribal politics nimekuwa nikisema for some time that this is where if we go there, Ruto is guaranteed to win. Najua kuna wase usemaga like Ruto atakuwa guaranteed to win. Lakini wacha tusikize Duale, alafu nita explain kwa nini nafikiria if we go back to tribal politics, pure tribe, Ruto atashinda.
Na sisi kama jamii ya wafugaji tutasimama na William Ruto. Na kwa vile sasa wameshikana na baba, tumerudi ile siasa ya 2007. Ile fumbi mutapata 2027, they will be shocked.
So tukifikiria gajo 2007, one of the things that we have to think about was how divided the country was. And the country was mostly divided along tribal lines. And kuna watu usemaga that it reached a level where it felt like 41 versus 1, najua. And it was a very ugly time, and it's one of those things that we should always strive not to go back to. And this is the reason why ukichekigi, like mostly when politicians go tribal, for me it just pisses me off. Na sitakagi kujua why. And this is the reason why nimekuwa nikisema that mse kama Gachagua, for example, unimse every time that he talks he wins Ruto votes, because electio fanyaga tu ni kumake everything tribal. And as a country, I think a lot of people are trying to heal from what happened in 2007, because that was tribal violence. So yeah, that was ethnic violence. And because of that, kuna wale sasa watu tunafaa kuclassify as younger leaders. And with younger leaders, move feel like there's a certain level of responsibility, which it does not matter where you are born ama where you are from. As a younger person, you should have more at stake in a country, because you live longer in that country. If like death yako haita come through unnatural means, ikikam tu ni through nature, like ile na ikikam by nature, nasema maybe old age. So nikisikia mse kama Methu kuna vile sijui alikuwa nabonga wapi hapa, alafu pia akaamua kugo tribal. And na kungali kimsikiza, alafu nikisema that damn, now we are fully back to tribal politics. And Ruto, wherever he is, of course, ana smile. Wacha tusikize Methu.
Mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi, mliona last week William Ruto alikuwa Homa Bay? Mliona? Alifungua miradi mingi sana huko ya maendeleo. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Hiyo watu ya Homa Bay walichagua yeye. Hasa nyinyi.
So hapo ndio tunafaa kuanzia. When you become president, you become the president of a country. It does not matter who the fuck voted for you. And this is one of those things that is always used against Gachagua and will always be there. Yendi alikuwa gamsewa shareholder government. When you become president, you become the president of a country, and you're supposed to look at the country in such a way that if for you to develop Kenya as a whole, you have to neglect your village where you are born, where your grandmother comes from. But ukidevelop another village where people did not vote for you, the whole of Kenya will benefit. That's what you're supposed to do. So when you start talking this bullshit, what it does is Ruto ends up winning votes, because mse kama huyu atakuwa hapa kibonga juu ya Homa Bay. So of course kuna mjaka fulani atakuwa huko Hocha, yuko like cheki see, every time tumepata maendeleo kidogo wana jam. Huyu mse ametumwa na nani? Rigathi Gachagua. So na cheki, the minute that such characters talk, every time Gachagua na lose vote. But apart from that, Gachagua should not be anywhere near the presidency. Kama yuna hard feelings zako, ini konene. Sawa, feelings zako hazinihusu. Hizo ni zako na nyanyako. Na cheki, Gachagua deserve presidency, Matiang'i deserve presidency. If you have to go old school, nishaisemaga, I can give Kalonzo a chance. Otherwise, mini team Maraga. Hopefully Maraga ataacha hizi stories za boardrooms na atabaki ameruka juu ya gari, which I highly doubt he's going to do. So of course we are stuck with this clown shit. So wacha tuendelee kusikia mse.
Walichagua yeye. Hasa nyinyi mkisikia hiyo watu wanatuambia tukae kwa serikali, ni wakumbavu ama si wakumbavu? Tena hata kama tunakaa kwa serikali yenye inaua watoto, sisi tutakaa ndani.
Afu historia kwa watoto kati ya gasi. Kenyatta aliua watoto, Moi aliua watoto, Kibaki aliua watoto, Uhuru aliua watoto, Ruto anaua watoto. It's been happening. Just because you've been ignoring it does not mean it did not happen. Kenyatta literally, baby Pendo, literally Yasin Moyo, watoto. So hii argument tusitumia. Hii ni argument ile ufurahisha gase, it gives you that warm fuzzy feeling and you feel like, you know what, So, because you didn't talk shit about Kenyatta, let's not use that against this guy. Let's use other stuff. Najua, political murders, police violence in this country is one of those things that's going to take a real leader to actually stop. Someone who's going to be able to take criticism. And I can clearly tell you, Uhuru never took criticism. Kibaki never did. Moi never did. Jomo never did. None of those people ever did. So this argument wagapoa, it makes you hii ni kitu imekuwa ikihappen. We need to stop it. Yes, we need to stop it. But let's not act like this is the first guy to do it. The police have always been an enemy of the people. They've never been on the people's side. They've never been. The police have always served the executive. And that's the reason why ungesikiza ile speech ingine ya Duale ukisikiza, at some point he talks about kama tunaongea juu ya compensation pia blah blah blah, lazima wabaki wamecompensatiwa. Why? Because the police have always killed. Wacha to go back to Duale.
Hii kina Kalonzo na kina Wamunyoro na Matiangi ameua watu wetu. And in fact, if there will be a compensation, let me make it clear. If there will be a compensation for people who died in Kenya, the people of Wagala must be compensated. The people of Garissa Gubai must be compensated. The people of Malkamari in Mandera must be compensated.
So it's okay, Garissa Gubai, we are talking about Moi. But umesikia hiyo statement akianza, ameanza na Matiang'i aliwa watu wetu. Matiang'i served under Uhuru. So this thing of kids being killed, because don't forget watoto. Literally nipatia na example ya watoto, nikipatia na Baby Pendo and Yasin Moyo. But with watoto they mean adults. Remember, in Kenya there's always that nonsense of calling adults watoto. So that's what they mean. And hiyo ndio kitu wanataka kukaunta haraka. So that's not something for Methu to use hapa.
Ndani. Serikali ya kuua watu itakaa ndani. Serikali ya kunyanyasa watu itakaa ndani. Serikali ya kuita huyu mkonji terrorism kijana yetu mtakaa ndani.
Your terrorism, I have to give it to him. Before this, that has never happened in Kenya. There's never been a situation whereby someone is called a terrorist. Nacheki. Has someone been called a lord of violence? Yes, hiyo ni Raila, and it's always given to the head of the opposition. So that lord of violence right now has been transferred to Rigathi Gachagua.
Waende wasiende. Jambo la pili, nyinyi watu wa Mbere, watu wengi sana wanatamani kuwa nyinyi watu wa Mbere. Kwa sababu tumekasirishwa na William Ruto Kenya mzima. Tulikuwa tunataka nafasi ya kufunza William Ruto adabu, lakini yetu iko mbali sana. Nasikia kura yake ni 2027. Nyinyi mmewekewa hapa karibu. Mtafunza yeye adabu?
That was a good part. Unajua part ya by-elections show up. I think it's high time we as Kenyans started taking by-elections seriously. We've never taken them seriously. Unajua it's high time we started doing that. But yes, back to Methu. Methu, of course, I'll always look at him. This is a young dude, and all that I know him for is that tribal bullshit. And as I said, kuna kuwaga na hii speech yake. It's so sad that it's funny. Every time I listen to it, I actually laugh. Because it's so sad that it's funny. Because it makes you see how also, if you are to judge even Uhuru and even judge Kibaki, because all are the ones that I'll judge because walikuja na democracy. They created this scenario whereby supporting the government meant more development. And it's a very bad way to run a country, because what it does is it creates a lot of division around politics. That's why politics yetu inakuwaga that confrontational, because inakuwaga it's do or die, like mse wetu akiingia, we'll have better roads, we'll have what. That's why wacha to go back to Methu. Hii ni kabla wakosane na Ruto.
Mmoja msikuje kuuliza huko William Ruto na Gachagua. Unauliza tu hapa nyumbani, kwa nini ni 500? Waziri Jagui mnaongeza, mkiangalia mnaona jina inasoma keep something nini kama uteroge. Hiyo vitu unaongeza kidogo. Hiyo ya hawa akina Moro Moni.
That's always funny to listen to. It's funny but sad, but still funny. Unajua, kaa ni funny. So yes, so right now I feel like we are back to 100% tribal politics, and if things maintain at this rate, naweza kuguarantee Ruto anarudi. We need to go back to issues, and the issues cannot be based on a region. Najua, the issues cannot be based on tribe. The issues need to be based on a bigger picture, and if we go that route, hakuna watu watajua kuidance better, because unajua Ruto, what he's going to do is he's going to let akina Gachagua just talk for the mountain, alafu yeye mwenyewe atasplit, achukue wase wa kina Kanyuma wabonge juu ya Wajaka, achukue kina Duale wabonge juu ya Wasomali. Kumbuka napatiana IDs indiscriminately, alafu achukue akina Wakishiba Wasumbui wabonge juu ya Waluya, and he's going to win this fight. Alafu another thing that he's doing that other people didn't do ni wale wengine wali make sure strictly watu wamewavotia ndio wamepeleka development kwao. Him is spreading it around, so he's playing politics and he's spreading it around, and he's good at it. So you have to look at that politics is emotional, it's never rational. So if you can play with the strings of people's hearts, you're halfway there, and that's what he's going to do. So if we go tribal, guaranteed he's going to win. And the problem about this is if even younger people have decided to take this tribal, because I think niko nimebonga Jode manaitwa Pauline. Na Pauline understand. I think most probably she wants to run for political office, and she feels like she needs to kiss the ring, and by kissing the ring namaanisha kukiss the ring ya ubuda naitwa nani, Rigathi Gachagua. Because ilikuwa interesting. This was so interesting to see from her. Acha nisome hii. Ilikuwa ile a historic photo of the day, a historic transition just unfolded. For the first time in 33 years, Kenya has a new, strong and formidable leader of the opposition. After only 10 months in the opposition, where many had assumed that he'd be forgotten, today marks a defining moment for Rigathi Gachagua as he's thrust into a new chapter of leadership, stepping onto a higher stage in the country's political arena. As I mentioned earlier, the team Gachagua throws his weight behind the 2027 elections will have a very powerful head start, because he's a relentless ground mobilizer who's backed by the tyranny of numbers. So a few things about this are true. The team that he throws his weight behind, because he himself, if he throws his weight behind himself, that's going nowhere. But if he throws his weight behind someone, he's going to boost that someone, and that can help kutoa Ruto. Yes, so that's true. The story that he's the first time in 33 years, that's bullshit. That's pure freaking bullshit that can only be backed by tribal sentiment. No need to expound on that. Ekonene, so nimeinterrupt show kukuremind juu ya Lemfi, na sunajua Lemfi inakupatiaga an opportunity, especially kwa huko masaids za US, kubaki umetumia pesa Kenya haraka, na usisahau transactions zinakuwaga free. Lakini saizi kitu moja ile nimenotice, kuna wasee wengi sana wale wako states wale wamesign up to Lemfi, lakini jo bado hamja transact jo. That first transaction jo baki umeifanya, make sure umetransact at least $100, ndio baki umepata $20 cashback. Alafu pia sisi kama iko nini tubaki tumepata $20 from your deal. Alafu pia usisahau kuwa saa hizi jo Lemfi inakupatia an opportunity ya kutuma pesa Kenya, lakini kama uko US and you need support, and pia unaweza baki umetumiwa pesa from Kenya to the US through Lemfi. Alafu pia mkiwa masaids za states, na nyinyi wote wawili mko na Lemfi, mzabaki umetumia na pesa. Unajua si lazima mtumie ile nyingine sijui ya huko. Tumia tu yetu ya mtaa, Lemfi to Lemfi hapo haraka. Alafu vile pia musemaga siku hizi kuna vile mzabaki umelipa till number, na pia mzabaki umelipa pay bill direct. So tuseme you're doing like this construction project, and you need to deposit do kwa bank account fulani, na uko na pay bill ama a certain company and you have the pay bill, you can just do that through Lemfi. Then upatie raya fulani, alafu since uko states ya kucheza jo. So unangoja nini jo? Changamka haraka. Baki umefanya that first transaction kutumia Lemfi. Usahau ni promo code ni Ekonene. Your promo code ya Ekonene ndio inakupatia $20 cashback on your first transaction. Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Wacha turudi kwa show. So wacha tutoke hapo. Tukitoka hapo, another thing like also shinda kwa why always fight religion, especially kama una watch this on a Sunday, una should like, damn, this guy is going to talk shit about religion. But it's not just about religion. I talk shit about witchcraft. I talk shit about superstition in general. So kuna u buda waga nini is a political pundit. I've been trying to get him on the show. I think the first time nini tulikuwa tumesikizana tutabonga, then with time unajua things happen, I forget to follow up, and I think I'm going to reach out to him. And I always love his political commentary, but kuna hii moja ile alipost, and I found it to be like, damn, if this guy is reasoning like this, how many Kenyans are reasoning like this? And this is very poor reasoning. I don't know if I should call it poor ama bad reasoning. Let me call it bad reasoning. Msena bonga juu yake ni msana anaitwa Fanya Mambo Kinuthia. Wacha tusikie kile alisema.
If you think you're a good politician and you're taking the children of the poor women and giving them 1,000 shillings to go and die, watch what will happen within your family. Right now, I can speak of 2 or 3 politicians who have seen something happen to their own young people because of what they've done to other people's young children.
So what he's saying in very many words is karma. And karma is some superstitious bullshit. History at bad things happen to people who do bad things in the bullshit. We were colonized. If you hear about the atrocities that the colonizers did to us, what has happened to Britain since colonization? Niambie, nini imehappen? Wacha tutoke hapo, wacha tuende US. US ilifanya nini country kama Iraq, wakisema walikuwa na the weapons of mass destruction? How many kids died? George Bush bado yuko. This is the reasoning I expect from my grandma. Unajua hii reasoning ya Mungu atatulipia. Hakuna mtu atakulipia. The world is not fair. And you have to think about it. This is nature. Nature is violent. Like nature at its core ni violent. I think kuna photo ingine nilicheki nilifind ikiwa interesting. Ilikuwa ni lion imesimama and then there is an antelope and kuna plants hapo. Alafu alafu ilikuwa imeandikwa, in the plant's mind the lion is the protector, because don't forget plants are living things, so every time zinadishiwa na inasemekanaga that they feel pain. Kumekuwa na hiyo story ya like plant kidishiwa, kuna kuoga na vitu zinaonyesha ni kama ina feel pain in its own way. I don't know how that goes. Sikitu nilifuatilia for long. So now we look at this where these politicians do bad things, something bad is going to happen. No, nothing bad is going to happen. The only way something bad is going to happen is if we change the system and we change the laws of the country and we stop impunity and we bring a certain level of accountability. But anything less than that, where someone up there is going to intervene, is pure bullshit. But wacha tuendelee.
Go ahead, kama wewe ni mwanaume, chukua guns tuma and watch what will happen within your family.
Really? Sakaja ni billionaire, alituma guns. Nothing is happening to his family. We live in a country where if you have 1 billion shillings, you can get away with anything. And this was just, I'm reacting because I was sad. Like, say muskizaga sana. Until nikona this superstitious bullshit. I was there like, damn, okay.
I'm not threatening you, I'm just telling you the truth.
Okay.
What goes around comes around. You cannot decide that the children of other people are useless. They'll be sent to the streets, they'll die, they'll go and do maandamano.
So ilikuwa ni Fanya Mambo Kinuthia. And I can assure you, niko sure most probably if it's a Sunday, unasema Mungu atakurevengeia. Maybe someone did something bad to you and you feel like it's never going to happen. As I keep saying, I keep quoting some random person, life is not a Nigerian movie. Hakunaga happy endings. Najua, bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people. And that's just the reality of life. This thing that somehow karma is going to happen, it's never going to happen. Let's look at it this way. This is how I think Nilibaki may reply the whole thing. I gave the example of Moi. Because Moi alifanyaga vitu zingine za ajab sana. Unajua, if you are to think about it, Moi was a bad motherfucker. Yeah. So Moi alifanyaga vitu zingine and nothing happened to Moi. Moi lived to his 90s and then he died. Then kuna wako like, but Nini, his family is fighting for the wealth and what? They're fighting for an estate ya 300 billion. if you think that's suffering, that's problems I'd want. Yeah. So mi niko reply hii story nikasema life doesn't work this way. We all wished it did. Bad shit happens with no repercussions. Moi lived and died with all his wealth and family intact, even after years of murder and torture. Karma is superstitious bullshit. Jonathan Moi got away with Julie Ward's rape and murder and just died because of pancreatic cancer, which anyone can get. Najua hata sisi wale hatuja commit hizi vitu za ase bado tunabaki tumepata pancreatic cancer. So that's the reality of life, and I always feel very sad when I see educated people give these bullshit things of karma is going to happen, or you did this wrong thing so this is going to happen. Life doesn't work that way. Najua life is unfair. Yes, I think mini jumusikizaga reggae music, life is so unfair. And how is life unfair? Let me give you 2 stories that show that life is unfair. Hizi zote zili happen on zilikuwa published on Saturday. So kulikuwa na 13-year-old boy killed by crocodile in Kibwezi. Then ikakuwa 13-year-old boy has been killed by a crocodile at Kanyonga area in Kibwezi, Makueni County. According to reports, the boy was attacked while fetching water from River Athi on Friday. Residents who rushed to the scene tried to save him and recover his remains, but their efforts were unsuccessful. What did this kid do to deserve being killed by a crocodile? He was born to a poor family, and that means he needed to go and fetch water from a river. That's the only thing that he did. So, will karma end up getting the crocodile? No. Crocodile is part of nature. And remember what I said up earlier? Nature is violent. And nature will thrive on violence. And that's the reason why sisi kama humans, najua, tunajichukuaga kama better than the other animals, because at least tuko able to control our level of violence amongst us. But still, humans are the most violent animals on earth. Najua, we not only murder our own species, we not only end up having extra food while others are starving, because animals hazifanyagi hiyo shit. Hawezi pata mnyama ana starve na zingine zimehoard food. Apart from that, of course, sisi pia tuna destroying other species. Najua tunakuanga that, especially vile tulikam tukadanganywa that somehow some invisible man in the sky alitupatia dominion over everything, until a crocodile grabs you and tells you, nope, you're part of nature, come here, let's go. Alafu na cheki vile inasemekana walikuwa try to recover the remains, because nasemekanaga nindizi kipata dishi so endaga chini kabisa. And don't forget, we are all food. Najua we are all part of the ecosystem. Ukijipata na mnyama haitaki kujua uko na dreams and ambitions, minaenda na wewe. So that was number 1 ya kukuonyesha history za karma ni bullshit. I don't think that crocodile will get any karma. Will another crocodile maybe be grabbed? Maybe. Why? Because this freaking river Athi, I didn't know about it, and now I'm scared, man. Like, damn, this river Athi, because the same Saturday, another report, tragedy as man killed in hippo attack in Yatta. I'm like, okay, sawa, ile ingine ilikuwa river Athi, which was in Makueni County. This is Yatta. So I was like, where is Yatta? Nikafind Yatta is in Machakos County. I was like, okay, let me find out. Then nikasoma, residents of Ngwasi area in Siokisinga sub-county Yatta are in shock after a young man was killed by a hippopotamus while fetching water from river Athi. Residents, the victim, whose identity has not been released by the time of reporting, had gone to the river in the company of a friend. According to eyewitnesses, he accidentally stepped on the animal while climbing on stones near the riverbank, unaware that the hippo was resting beneath the surface. Startled, the hippo charged, plunging into the river and attacking the young man. His friend, who was standing on the riverbank, screamed for help as the animal mauled him, inflicting severe injuries. So, huo pia kabaki amededi. So the question I'm going to ask you is, where is karma? And why did I don't know those two people who died. Well, the one in ule wa crocodile na ua hippo. But I'm assuming they are good people. I'm assuming they don't have the death numbers that the Ruto government has. But why were they killed by hippos? They are not bad people. Most probably, najua. So, just shows you nature is nature, man. Nature is violent. So tuachage hizi stories za kufanya nature ikae kama this beautiful place where there's justice and there's rhyme and reason for everything that happens. No, sometimes bad shit just happens and bad things happen to good people, and we just hope for the best. Najua, we wake up every day and we hope for the best, man. You never know. Look at even the terrorist attacks hapa Kenya. Westgate, kuna mtu alienda tu shopping hivyo. Westgate, happy, had a job, had a family, had the perfect life, never came out of Westgate. Kuna mtu alienda Dusit, job, perfect family, haku come out. Garissa University happened. Bomb blast ile ya 1998. There's no rhyme and reason to life. And the minute that we start telling ourselves that the politicians will pay because of some superstitious unnatural justice, it's bullshit. The only way the politicians are going to pay are if we as Kenyans decide it's time to end impunity, and we'll end that by voting in people who will decide that the constitution reigns supreme and that everyone has to act within the constitution. But if you're going to wait for an invisible man in the sky to solve our worldly problems, wacha iendelee kuwa hivyo, because one of the things mu hate, of course mujitaga Mwafrika, but one of the things mu hate about African history is the fact that we eroded our history so much. It's something that kuna boy flani nishaimquote naitwa Tim Kingo, he's an actor, alisemaga that African religions never had heaven and hell, najua. So this concept of heaven and hell was brought to us by the white man. Ililetwa maybe around kwa wajaka najuaga Christianity iko inafika huko around 1905. So it means that every person who died before 1905 went to hell, najua. And a lot of people are happy with that. Why did they go to hell? Because they'd never heard of the word of God. And remember, God is omnipresent, and he still needed specific people to bring his message. I know, man, it's but if you believe in karma, believe in karma. Yes, since Ruto amekuwa akifanya hizi vitu anafanya, kuna vile siku moja ataamka na atakuwa amesota, Shalina atakuwa homeless, and ndio kama Israel. Okay, eko nene.